Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the AVGL Collegiate Smite League. Yesterday was our final round of plays, but we do have some matches still to be finished up before the regular season ends out. My name is J Mac Tucker. With me is Emu, and unfortunately, for you guys, while we are showing Ohio State versus Wisconsin, we don't have the picks and bans for Game 1, so we're just going to go ahead and hop right into the match.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do miss those picks and bans, but I mean, you can see what they've picked. That's good enough. An interesting team comp here with that solo Beck, with that Thanatos, not a god you see a lot, and the Bologna jungle on the other side. So interesting picks for sure. I want to see just how this is going to work out. Bologna jungle is not something we see a lot, and Thanatos with that Rangus mask is going to be looking dangerous.
I will say one thing that I did get to witness with Oceania. I did watch a lot of their Pro League matches last split, and they really seem to favor the Bologna jungle before. This is before Warrior meta was even a thing. This is like Season 3 jungle state, and they love playing the Bologna jungle, and I love seeing it. It's a lot of presence, has a lot of damage, and a lot of clear.
Yeah, it definitely is one of those things of you can dive the back line very hard. Bologna being having that disarm, being very tanky. It is very annoying to deal with if you are that hunter player or you rely on auto attacks at all, because that disarm makes you pretty irrelevant in the game, and it's always an annoying thing when you can't have an impact.
Well, one thing, even though we missed picks and bans, we do still get to see what everybody opted with. You said the Thanatos and Sobek. We see Scylla and Vulcan, the mages, locked through here, which leads me to believe that Thoth was likely one of the gods banned away, as well as maybe Soul taken off the table.
Yeah, Vulcan's an interesting pick here, but people do like Vulcan. He has some potential if he can get into that late game and land those ults. He does a lot of work. It's just a matter of you're sort of inconsistent. That giant Vulcan ult is not exactly the easiest thing in the world to hit without some setup.
Campaign looked like he was going to swing around the back to try and get some kind of fancy shot off, but instead just looks to opt toward the minions with his partner unhinged. And Ohio State, a team that I've had a little bit of talk about in the talk show last week, where I was kind of underwhelmed by their performance this season, and right now they're actually fighting for the 3rd seed. If they lose this game, they drop to 4th seed just because of head-to-head matchups with Brandon University.
Yeah, I've definitely seen them. Oh, and Ampain's in a lot of trouble in that jungle.
Ooh, Ampain taking a lot of damage. The shell's going to come through. Sidewinder going to be able to make sure that his teammate gets out. A little bit early aggression at speed buff, but so far, nothing's really going to come out of it. No one dies.
Yeah, he got pushed in there by the Hercules. I thought he could have done a little bit more there.
Well, as my robotic partner said, thought maybe a little more would have happened onto that one. Hopefully, he'll be able to get his microphone situation sorted out here. Over into the duo lane, free cap. He's just trying to solo himself here. He's just trying to stay alive, get a little bit of farm on, but Hippopotamus and the port, they're not going to let him just sit here so pretty. And over onto the right-hand side, we have Havoc, Ghost Ninja, just doing solo lane things. So far, Ghost Ninja not having the best time, not having the worst time, doesn't have that blue buff for himself just yet. Not going to have that mana sustain, but the best part about Sobek is once he hits that level 5, lurking in the waters, laning phase, less used for damage, more just used for getting your mana back.
I am back. Have I improved at all?
I would say that was a pretty good improvement.
I will take that. I have no idea what's going on. Just technical issues that always happens. Hopefully, we're back. We can have a bit of an impact. No one's died yet. At least that's good news.
Yeah, 3 minutes in, no deaths. A little bit of fight by the speed buff, but like we said, nobody perishes. Ampain got very close, and one thing that we see Ampain has picked up is this Rungus mask. I'm surprised he's not being more aggressive this game.
Yeah, it definitely benefits him to get the kills, but at the same point, if it's not the best item to fight with early, he doesn't have a true starter item like a bluestone, so it has a negative consequence there in that he can't be as aggressive early, but he wants to be aggressive because he wants those stacks, so sort of a catch-22.
Well, looking at the jungle matchup here, the Thanatos, they're looking to get the early pressure, to get that late game dominance, get that execute. We're over onto the side of Wisconsin. They have the Bologna jungle, which is not really uncharacteristic anymore thanks to the Warrior meta, but they're looking to kind of get themselves just mid-late game where that Bologna really starts to shine.
Yeah, and Bologna is going to give you a lot of early pressure, and so something like the Thanatos isn't going to be able to truly fight into you without fearing Bologna fighting back. So an interesting thing, Ampain will, once he hits 5, I assume become a little more aggressive with that execute.
Well, Deport's looking to get aggressive, and he's getting CC'd down. The meatball from Limon is going to be good. And Ampain turned into a little bit of Piggy, but that's going to spell the end of that one. Just a couple of abilities thrown out, get each other out of danger, and, well, now they're all just going to back off.
Yeah, that was a good idea by Deport to go in. I know he got turned on and took a lot of damage, but obviously Hippopotamus was there, so that was clearly a drawn-up play to try and make some aggression happen when they knew their hunter was just around the corner.
Well, 4-man split of the red buff, and Deport actually comes out on top with that one, so we're going to have the red buff onto your support. And to be fair, Ganesh does do a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those... it's unconventional, but on certain supports, it's not the end of the world. He does a lot of damage, and he's pretty farmed up. He's level 6 as well, so it's not like he's losing a whole lot. He can put that abilities out and do some damage, especially on that ultimate.
I mean, if you got that red buff on the Ganesh, hit that early objective. That Gold Fury gets chunked down by the Dharmic Pillars enough as it is. Add a little bit more power to it, and, well, you could really help out onto that one. But for now, I think he's just looking to be safe. I think it was a misstep on his part, probably not meaning to pick that up, but you know the story. You know, the buff just fell on me, man.
Yeah, lag. Always lag. Blame the lag and pick it up. Bologna here with the purple buff as well, so everyone's sort of, switching around buffs at this point.
This is the new meta, man. Jungles get the aura buff. Wait, honestly, jungles getting the aura buff wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because you get that, you get the aura of removing their protections into that one. So
in middle lane. Oh, Limon actually is not going to be the target. Thanatos is coming over left with that ultimate.
Going to drop down onto Deport, but not really going to get the follow-up from there. I'm a Monster. Doesn't connect. Ampain still looking to go forward, but the pillars are a perfect deterrent for Wisconsin. They're not going to lose any lives, and they only had to trade out one ult for it.
And Limon in middle's in a lot of trouble. His Aegis was burned on the Thanatos ult, so the Ghost Ninja's going to bring him down.
No, he's not. Ghost Ninja didn't turn back. He thought it was going to kill, and Limon's going to walk away with like 12 HP, somehow getting out of 2 dangerous situations.
That is... I am confused as to how... I think he popped it early. It's the only explanation. That should have been enough damage, I thought, and he thought as well, but... unfortunately, just doesn't have it. It might have been because he went Mark of the Vanguard instead of Vamp Shroud, which you're generally seeing. Just that little extra power would have brought him down. I thought he had it. That's a big, unfortunate misplay there.
I thought he had it just with the pen boots alone. I don't know why he didn't turn around and throw an ability. A Sickening Strike, the Tail Whip would have been enough, but instead he's just going to throw out the ult and burn his shell just to get out of the tower range. So 7 minutes in, again, more fights, but no blood spilled.
Yeah, that's it's a bit of a drop on that first blood. I would have liked to see that. It is unfortunate, but I'm a little surprised that Ohio hasn't been more aggressive early.
Well, Ohio, with that Thanatos, they kind of need to. They need to get that Thanatos to the point where he can begin to snowball for his team, getting those big executes off. But at the rate that they're going right now, it's going to go more in favor of Sir Hamilton on his Bologna, as Bologna just stays relevant the entire game. Those Eagles rallies come in big late game for the protections and the power it provides.
Yeah, and I mean, just the disarm to take the abilities away from the Hunter. He can't use those auto attacks, especially on a Hunter like Rom, who is so dependent on those auto attacks. Really going to be annoying when he can't use them for a couple seconds.
Well, speaking of those Hunters, maybe you can enlighten us a little bit. So we have one Hunter here, Hippopotamus on the Kernos, starting with Devourer's Gauntlets, where over for Ohio State, Precap has opted to go for Boots first. What's kind of the reasoning you go one or the other?
Well, Boots first will give you a better early game. You'll have a little bit more abilities and things like that. The Devo's Glove first, you want to get those stacked. So look for Rom to be a little stronger at this point, but now that Kernos has finished that Devo's Glove, once he gets those fully stacked, then he'll be a little bit stronger. It's just on when you want to be, when you want that power spike to be. If you feel comfortable in the early game, you might go into Devos right away, whereas if you're a little afraid, you might go into the Boots first.
Well, that does make sense, since Kernos does have that extra sustain in his kit, so he'll benefit from a little bit extra lifesteal. Over by the Gold Fury, a little bit of damage thrown out. Deport going to get hit by the Scythe, but Ohio State, they're just going to turn their sights towards the Oracle Harpies, but Hamilton and DePort, they don't want to let this one go just yet. They're going to throw out the turn of fate, and actually DePort's going to steal one of those ones away.
Yeah, and that's the big damage from the Ganesh that we were talking about. You know, it helps on players. It also helps on Oracles, apparently. Denying the other team vision, not getting any vision for himself, but I'm sure he'll be happy with that, with just splitting them.
Looking so far, it's kind of been a low farm game for both these junglers. Only sitting level 7, support for Ohio level 7, but DePort level 8. So far out farming his jungler.
Yeah, but a big part of that is, and both junglers are really having a tough time. You know, Thanatos has not had almost any impact at all. Ampain's just been sort of wandering around. It's really unfortunate. You want to see that Thanatos have early pressure, but Wisonsin, in fairness, is doing a very good job of avoiding fighting him.
Well, as we hit the near 10-minute mark, no deaths yet for either of these two teams. Dead even game at 200 gold and XP between the two of them. Right now, just a stagnant where the XP, you can see where it's kind of scattered out amongst the players.
Yeah, and it's sort of, if you look at it, the graphs, it's sort of spiking up and down. Both teams get a little advantage and then lose it, and then a little advantage. You know, 100, 200 gold isn't game-changing by any means.
Well, Sport gets caught out mid by the Stickum, but he's going to be able to dash back one of the powers of the Ganesh. Has that mobility, and everybody loves the mobility on the Guardians. That's why we see the Fafnir. That's why we see the Sobek over into the solo lane. It's someone to be able to get in, or if needed to, get out, where someone like Ymir or Sylvanas, they're going to take a little bit longer, and Limon being aggressed on, dashes down in, I'm a monster, not going to connect because of the Aegis from Limon. Sir Hamilton turns it, Vulcanhold over the top, but all the while, Ghost Ninja with the rotation gets first blood onto Sir Hamilton.
And Ghost Ninja's going to look to keep going here. He might back out at this point, but really a good job on him to zone everyone out.
Havoc just going to throw out the rock, but it's not going to see anything, not even a minion as he threw it towards his own side of the map. So rotation from the solo laner comes out fruitful for Ohio State, where Wisonsin a little bit slow on it.
Yeah, Havoc just, 2 steps behind. If he'd been there a bit earlier, it might have made a difference, but unfortunately, just a couple steps behind. It's that simple. In a game like Smite, a couple steps makes a big difference.
Well, level 12 now for Precap, and he's wanting to push that forward into Hippopotamus. Throws a few auto attacks, but not going to come out with anything onto that. Hippopotamus does have that red buff. Precap's looking to try and steal this purple buff away, but Hippopotamus, he's got that Bramble Blast. He's going to be able to save that one for himself.
Yeah, that's anytime you can secure your own buffs. It doesn't sound the nicest. You don't want to get them stolen, though. So I'm sure he'll be happy with that. I'm sure he'd be much happier if he wasn't getting his purple buff stolen away from him.
I gotta say, I do enjoy watching Limon's Vulcan here. He was being aggressed on by Ampain, who was just charging into his face, predicted the timing of the death sight, and actually dropped his turret to take the damage for it instead. So he comes out, Ampain still gets his heal off, but not onto the target he wanted.
Yeah, and that's, the damage from that is so important. And Ampain, unfortunately, doesn't have any kills, he has 1 assist, he's level 9. It's been a really rough game for him. He can't get that rank stacked up, so that early gamble isn't paying off so far, at least.
Now, so far, the wrong dismasking not working out for the team here. Now with level 12s coming through, Ghost Ninja picks up Blink for his second relic after his shell. Over on the flip side, Havoc, he's going to grab himself a Horrific Emblem, and now Hippopotamus just getting his secondary defensive relic with the Aegis.
I do like the idea of going into the Hide of the Urchin on the Fafnir. Even though there has been no kills in this game, it's shown no signs of there being any kills, it's obvious that that's what this team needs to do. With that Scylla, with that Rom, with that Thanatos, they need to be aggressive. They need to be looking to get big team fights. So it's a good idea for Fafnir, knowing that their win condition is getting a bunch of kills. It doesn't, even if it hasn't happened so far, that doesn't matter. You need them in order to get the win.
And picking it up this early gives him a long time to be able to stack that one up. While he's going to be sitting on it, it's not as strong as it was last patch. It's still going to be good for them, but the Gold Fury started by Ohio State, trying to be snuck down to about a 3rd HP. Ampain and Ghost Ninja playing frontliner. DePort jumps in. Garbage Pillars dropped onto the Gold Fury, but he's going to leash it away from the back. Hippopotamus takes one, but Limon claims out another one. Soon after, dropped by Ghost Ninja. Now Ghost Ninja trying to run away from the three members. Silenced out, can't run. Bludgeon slam. Shell is good, but the Sick'em from Unhinged is even better to get their solo laner out.
Oh, and he almost got pulled back in there. That's a great job by Ohio to disengage. They got the Gold Fury. They did lose Ampain, but Ampain's going to be completely fine with that because he gets another assist, gets another stack on that Rangdus Mask. So all in all, that's really kind of a good trade out there for Ampain, especially because his team did get the Gold Fury.
Actually, Ampain's team did not get Gold Fury. Wisconsin stole that one away. Hippopotamus came around the back with the Wild Hunt, turned 2 into the Pigs, and was able to steal that one away from him. So Ohio State, they trade 1-1, but Wisconsin comes out on top for it.
I had completely missed that. Focusing on the fight, you're absolutely correct. That is a big loss for Ohio, giving that over to Wisconsin. I did not even realize that is definitely trouble. That undid. They were doing a good job gaining a little bit of a lead, and that lead has been completely negated by that Wisconsin Gold Fury steal.
Well, we're 15 minutes in, and like you said, the lead is gone. It's back down to 100 gold, 100 experience, just bouncing between the two teams. And it's not often that we see in our AVGL league 2 teams at 3 kills 15 minutes into the game.
Yeah, generally these games are a lot more aggressive and a lot more kill happy. So unfortunately, low kill game this time.
Yeah, it's going to be a little while, I think, before we see the action. Ohio trying to play careful as they are fighting to stay in 3rd seed. They lose this matchup. They do drop to 4th seed. However, it's not going to matter too much for Ohio whether they're 3rd or 4th. They do still have to play in the first round of the gauntlet no matter which seed they get. It's just, do you want the bragging rights of being 3rd, or do you want the bragging rights of, well, being down in 4th?
Yeah, and I mean, a little easier matchup's never going to hurt anyone. You know, I assume that they get a little bit easier on who they get to play, so.
Wow, Pillars drop down onto the right side by the speed bump, and nobody's going to get caught out, and iHavoc actually takes the brunt of the damage, takes a Sick'em and a crush to the face for it. But he's going to Hercules. He's going to be able to go back, heal up, no problem.
Yeah, that's the benefit of playing that Hercules, always healing himself up with those abilities, as well as the Gladiator Shield, so anytime he hits anyone, he's getting health and mana back. I'm sure he'll be pretty unkillable in a little while here.
Especially when he starts throwing those boulders out and they're reflecting onto 3 or 4 members of the Ohio State team. Ampain putting a little bit of poke into Sir Hamilton with that dead side. He's going to get a nice little heal back up, not worry too much. And, well, now we go back to the stalemate of the game where it's just kind of farm frenzy.
Yeah, and Ohio State is definitely getting a slight advantage, which partially comes off of having that Thanatos, but Wisconsin team has done such a great job of avoiding fighting him. Which is really what you want to do with the Thanatos. He does fall off into the late game, so if you can just avoid him for a while, you'll be in a much better situation.
Especially since he's, like we talked about, going into the Rangdus Mask, and only with 2 stacks on it 16 minutes in, it's just like that Urchin. It's going to take a long time for it to actually come online. It's going to take a while for it to become a fruitful and worthwhile pickup. But for the time being, Ohio State, they'll sit on their two kills, looking to maybe get the first tower of the game in solo lane, as it's sitting on about maybe 100 HP.
Yeah, it's getting very low, and that will be a big benefit for Wisconsin, just getting all that extra golden experience, but not yet, just getting nearby. I think the biggest thing is I'm waiting for Ohio State to start fighting and start to force something. Even if they sort of give up a little bit, I'm waiting for them to do it. It looks like they're looking for the right opportunity, and I'm waiting for them to take a big fight and get 2, 3, maybe even 4 kills. Get some stacks on that Hide of the Urchin. Get some stacks on that Rangdus Mask. This is what we're waiting for from them, I feel.
Yeah, I think that they're waiting for Unhinged to maybe get another item online. He's got 37 stacks on his Book of Thoth, maybe looking to get that big pen item before they go in. As this game is going later, the members are getting tankier. It's harder to kill. They're going for precap. Gets the Ohm off. He's going to go into the sky, drop down 2 shots. Third one will be good. The Piggies is not good enough because the Aegis from precap will hold him off, and the Bramble Blast not going to do enough damage.
Yeah, so much was expended in that left lane from Wisconsin. I'd like to see maybe Thanatos look to rotate over and maybe counter-engage, but doesn't look like he has the option.
No, it looks like he's getting counter-engaged on Beads. Gets the dead side. He's going to get the heal up. Sir Hamilton now in Threshold, but Ghost Ninja is just going to snag him. Vulcanol only going to hit Ghost Ninja, and Ampain just going to be lucky to walk away with his life until Havoc's here with the boulder.
Oh, we know that boulder does so much damage. Limon gets unhinged in the back. Now Havoc's in a lot of trouble, though.
He's gonna pop that mitigate wounds. It's not enough to save him, and now Limon getting aggressed on by Precap and the squad. Slow's coming out from the Astro Arrows. One more shot's needed. Double kill over to Precap. Deport, the poor elephant has to just run back, but with all that, the Gold Fury has respawned, and you can see Ohio State, they're looking for it.
Yeah, I think that was a great call, especially with Fafnir already up into that dragon form. So a big AoE coerce, and now just the regular coerce onto Precap. He'll be doing a lot of work, and Ghost Ninja zoning everyone out. So there's not going to be a steal this time. I'm certain of it.
If they stole that, I'd probably be calling hacks, honestly. None of those guys within red. Like, if it was Precap on the other team with that ROM, like, maybe we could see a steal, but nothing for Wisconsin to be able to get into that one. And now Ohio State finally building the first significant lead of the game at just 1,600 gold.
Well, I was waiting for something like that to happen, you know, getting those kills. Ohio State was putting aggression down, Ampain stealing away the speed buff on the left side or on the right side. And it's blue buff now, he's trying to get it as well. You know, he was being aggressive. He was all over the place. I was just waiting for him. And now Ampain's in a lot of trouble. They're popping the Aegis.
He's going to try and come through, but once again, the boulder from Havoc going to claim the life of the Thanatos. He's going to go back to the base for another 30 seconds, and there was just nothing that Ghost Ninja could do to stop the power of the big rock.
Yeah, and that was a bit of Ampain getting a little over-aggressive. You know, he had been doing such a good job of aggression, you know, forcing people to be careful of him, but at this point, I mean, he's a level 12 Thanatos. That's not exactly the biggest power spike. He still does damage, but he's pretty squishy, and that's sort of what you saw there is they just turned on him and killed him before he had any option to get any damage off.
I mean, for the benefit of the doubt, he did steal away the blue buffs. He's not going to get that, but over to the left-hand side, Precap and Hippopotamus doing a boxing match, but Deport's not going to let this solo go through. Hippopotamus and just a sliver of HP, gonna be able to take down Precap. Sidewinder, the greedy dragon looking for it, but Dash is back up for Hippopotamus. He's gonna get the safety, and Sidewinder just a little late on that rotation. Might just try and stop Deport's back. Actually, Deport stopped it himself. He's like, hey, what are you doing?
That was a good job by Deport to come over and rotate. That was also a great job by Precap to hit all those shots. So it didn't manage to get anything, but it is a good sign, and it's the right thing to do. Now they're going to steal this Portal Demon, it looks like.
Ghost Ninja into the Lurking in the Waters to be the secure for his team. Hamilton gets stunned out by Sidewinder playing zone duty. So Portal going to be good for Ohio State. Precap can join the rest of his team very shortly. And now 5-5 reads the slash line for the teams. 500 gold, about 1,500 experience, going to go over towards Wisconsin, actually.
That is an interesting thing there. You know, getting that little lead in experience is helpful. I'm not 100% sure who it's on. It looks like it's on Deport, if anyone. So, I mean, getting levels on your support is definitely not bad, especially when he's building these aura items. He's going to try and do whatever he can to help his team out.
Oh, into the mid lane. Precap going to get knocked up by the meatball, hit by the blast. He's still going to be rooted out. Has to use his beads from the knockup from Deport. Ultimate over the top. Not going to hit because of the Aegis. And now dumping down Ampain from the sky. Hamilton gets low. I'm a Monster hits 2, but it doesn't do nearly enough. The boulder doing so much damage to Precap and unhinged. But no one from Wisconsin falls. No one from Ohio State. Ghost Ninja makes the rotation in from the back. And now Deport staring down 5 members. Going to be transformed into the little piggies by Hippopotamus. But now this could be Wisconsin's re-aggression.
Yeah, this is what we need to see. And, ooh, Precap gets put in, though, unfortunately.
Plucked him up like an apple from a tree. Picking up another kill for iHavoc. Now his third. Up and down goes Sir Hamilton onto nobody. But Sidewinder going to go into Draconic form. Waiting to get that jump online. He's going to get it coerced to heal himself back up. iHavoc trying to be the front line for his squad. Ghost Ninja stopping him out. iHavoc shoves Ampain against the wall, but nobody has the ults to follow up. Ghost Ninja has to use that Lurk in the Waters just to get the CC immunity to get out. But once again, Limon with the ult. Not going to hit.
Yeah, Limon there got, I believe, 2 ults. I think he started that fight with an ult and then got an ult right near the end. So that's good use of the Chronos Pendant there.
Yeah, it's essentially 30% CDR, but the boulder is now back for iHavoc, and Sidewinder out of the Draconic form, had to re-transform back down. iHavoc getting his 4th kill.
And now Ampain ulting up. I want to see if he looks to be aggressive here.
Needs to go on to somebody, but he's waiting for the execute. Not going to be good enough, but he's just going to pump out the autos into the port. Will get the kill, add a couple more stacks to that Rangda's Mask, now at 5. Sidewinder, unfortunately, not getting any of those Urchin stacks throughout the fight, but through the thick of it all, the game just still stays at the stagnant 0 gold lead.
Yeah, both teams here, you know, the Wisconsin team has made a slight experience lead, but it's very minor. The biggest problem is in all these fights, everyone sort of seems to be even. They trade out 3 for 3 and, you know, 4 for 4, whatever, but no one's getting a clear advantage where they can push objectives, although Ohio is looking to maybe start up this gold fury as soon as it spawns.
Yeah, they do have the timer on it. They're going to go straight into it, and hopefully the team from Wisconsin realizes this is going on, but nobody's making a rotation through. Gold Fury already at half HP, and during that last fight, I thought that the Wisconsin was going to be able to continue forward. I thought they were going to get the advantage. They had the HP, but they just didn't have the confirmation. They didn't have the gas pedal to go forward, and Ohio State, they're going to sneak away a Gold Fury.
Yeah, and that's a big loss there. I mean, that's really, again, the first time we've seen Ohio, you know, get those objectives, or not the first time, but they've got another objective. They've been very aggressive onto that Gold Fury, stolen away once, but it's tough, you know, if they keep getting these Gold Furies, keep having the pressure on these objectives, it's going to become very difficult for Wisconsin.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto, for the wise words. Sidewinder going to stun out iHavoc by the mid camps. Meanwhile, Hippopotamus just going to continue trying to farm up onto his left-hand side. Team of Ohio State going to group up as 5. Portal Demon set to spawn in about another minute or so. And you know Ohio State, since they got the timer, they're going to be the ones who really want to get that. iHavoc's going to pick up Ampain, shove him back. That's going to be the beats from Ampain. Throws out the boulder. Not enough damage from iHavoc, but Ampain getting very low. Going to get the Death Scythe onto iHavoc just to get a little bit of HP back for himself. But now he needs to be careful as the rest of Wisconsin's rotating over.
Yeah, and they're going to look to make this a fight. You know, it's tough. Both sides kind of want to fight. Both sides think they have advantages in certain areas. It's just about someone stepping out of position.
Well, right now, Ohio State looking to stay on the back foot for it. They don't want to be the aggressors. They want to re-aggress. In Wisconsin, they hit that sprint. They want to go forward. Volcano comes out, but everybody's already out of the circle. Hamilton jumps in. Not going to stun anyone out. Now Havoc going to be thrown under the tower. Wisconsin, with the strong engage, is not going to come through. The execute comes down, but Unhinged gets it with the I'm a Monster. Reset comes through. Not onto anyone. Hippopotamus has to use that egg as Ampain chasing down, but Recap gets the auto to get the kill for it. Meatball comes out. Salamone gets 1 kill for his team, but now Deport staring down 4 other members. Auto from Recap, good for the double kill. Going up into the sky. 1-2 is going to be good. Triple kill for Recap.
Wow, and beautiful job. There's the deicide by Ohio. That was just Wisconsin over-aggressing. That was what I said. I said someone's going to step out of position. Not only did the entire Wisconsin team step out of position, they stepped out of position and used their ultimate. So nothing that they could do when Ohio decided to re-engage on them.
They used the Dharmic Pillars early, caught maybe 1 person on the slow. Then the Eagles rally landed onto nobody. Wisconsin burning all of their initiation, had nothing for the disengage, and now with the Fire Giant open, no one from Wisconsin alive. Ohio is going to get the free objective and follow up with the Portal Demon.
Yeah, and this is wonderful now. This is Ohio building a giant lead at this point. You know, we're up to about 5,000 gold, so that's going to be an issue, and now they all get to back and buy, and with that Fire Giant are going to look to push down some of these towers and grow that lead.
We've seen this countless times with the AVGL squads, is once that first Fire Giant goes through, that's when everybody now wants to step onto the gas pedal, and I fully expect Ohio State, now with the level, with the XP, and with the slight gold lead, to start trying to push forward into Wisconsin's base. 8 stacks on the Rangda's Mask for Ampain Thanatos, and a few stacks onto the Urchin for Sidewinder.
And Ampain has built into the hide of the Urchin himself, so now he's getting that stacked up, as if stacking that Rangda's Mask wasn't enough for him. He wants more stacks online, so he's definitely going to be looking to fight.
Is it possible to get 6 stacking items on a physical god? I don't think so.
I don't believe you can get 6.
You can get Heartseeker, you can get Rangda's, you can get Spirit Robe, Well, we're going to hold that thought here as Ohio State. They're pushing forward. Ghost Ninja gets the blink in, throws Limon into the back, who's now down chunked to half HP. Execute from Ampain's going to be good. Snipes from the top, not going to take anybody down for pre-cap, but Sidewinder playing the front line, throws out the double stun onto Hippopotamus. He's just trying to box out, but the poison image is too good. Unhinged gets the kill with the crush. Pre-cap takes down Deport, and now Havoc and Hippopotamus, the last ones. Crush chunking down Havoc, Sidewinder picking one up, and Ghost Ninja with the deicide. Everybody from Ohio State getting a little bit of love in that fight.
And that's exactly what they need. You know, like I was saying, this is a team that wants to fight. So many stacks for that team. Rank is fully stacked for Ampain. He's got a bunch of stacks on that Hide of the Urchin. Sidewinder's got it fully stacked up. They're on fire right now. They're going to get this Phoenix and maybe look to end.
Well, it is 29 minutes in, but Limon is up in 5 seconds. Hamilton shortly to follow through. And because of that, they're just going to go ahead, take the safe approach, get the Phoenix, look towards this tier 2 in mid lane, and maybe even make a push over towards the left side because Gold Fury is about to respawn. And we've seen countless times, teams just want to strip everything off the map to ensure that no one can make a comeback.
Yeah, that's exactly what you have to do is make sure they can't make a comeback. Everybody makes mistakes. It happens no matter how far ahead you are. You'll occasionally make an error. When you make that error, though, you don't want the enemy team to be able to push back and win the game.
Gold Fury going to be started up by Ohio. They're going to burn it down very quickly. Sidewinder not even needed for the experience onto it. Now they're looking over towards the left-hand side. Both towers and Phoenix still stand for the left-hand lane. Wisconsin now once... So we were dead even for 25 minutes of the game. Nobody had anything more than 1,000 gold here or there. All of a sudden, 13,500 gold lead for Ohio State.
That's all the towers and all the fire giants and a couple good fights. And I was saying that Ohio was looking to fight. I could see them. They were wandering around looking. And as soon as they saw that right opportunity, and it was as simple as Wisconsin blowing their ults in the mid lane, they capitalized, and they have not looked back. This is a team that clearly plays very well from ahead.
Well, sometimes all it just takes is one good fight or one good reinitiation counter-engage onto it in order to bring yourself up. And well, that's exactly what happened in that mid lane for Ohio. Now Fire Giant, Phoenix is down. Tier 1 over and left was taken down right there at the very end. With this gold lead, they're now able to finish up some big power items. Unhinged has that Ratatouille online, a Gem of Isolation from Sidewinder, and Midgardian Mail to round out Ghost Ninja's build.
And this Divine Ruin out of Unhinged is a little bit interesting. You don't generally see that, but I do like it into that Hercules. He is going to have a lot of heal, as well as Kerninos having potentially double lifesteal if he chooses to use it.
Not only that, a little bit of healing from Sir Hamilton with the Scourge, with the Death's Toll proc. Just going to make sure to shut down as much healing as possible with it. But now Ohio State looking to push into one of the lanes here. Mid lane is a little bit more pushed, so the members are going to group up there, except for Unhinged, who's holding towards this left-hand side. Turret's going to try and deter some of the minions. Meatball not going to connect from Limon. He's just going to clear out the minion wave as we have a 3-2 split for Ohio State, but nobody's committing onto either Phoenix.
And I do like iHavoc having that Emperor's Armor, going to make it very difficult for Ohio to siege a Titan or to siege a Phoenix as long as he's standing within it.
It seems that when one team picks up that Emperor's Armor, it's almost an immediate response that you kind of have to pick one up of your own just to negate it.
Yeah, and Ohio State doesn't have it yet. Fafnir instead having Gem of Isolation, so an interesting build on his part, just to make that slow even more devastating.
I'm still waiting for someone. Well, actually, they do have it.
He does have it.
Yeah,
yes.
He does have it there. We both overlooked that one, so they do have the double proc through to make sure to shut it down. Portal Demon started up by Ohio State as their Fire Giant buff has fallen off. It is respawned, but they're looking for the fight through now. Ghost Ninja going to throw Havoc into the back, and he's getting chunked down. Volcanult's only going to hit onto Ghost Ninja, who used that shell into the Lurking in the Waters. Up in the sky is Ampain. He's looking for a target. It's going to be Limon, who's going to take a lot of damage from the Death Scythe alone. But nobody has Paris just yet. Deport now into the front. Piggy form coming out. Sidewinder now back into the Dragon form. 3-man crush from Unhinged. Deals a lot of damage. But Precap's going to be the one to get the shot through. First shot, second shot, third onto a new target. Precap going to find one of his own and drop 3 members down of Wisconsin.
Huge snipes there out of Precap. A wonderful job. And now Ampain's going to absolutely demolish this right Phoenix before, maybe heading back for a little bit. They can definitely pick up this Fire Giant or potentially just look to take middle lane.
Well, with 25 seconds on the closest respawn, and it's just a port, looking like they're just going to go ahead and push down these lanes, but don't have their Hunter with them. It's going to take them a little bit longer, as instead, Hunter and support going for that Fire Giant over on the top side. Taking a little while to go there, as Precap doesn't have the mana to continue fighting into this as quickly as they would like to try and burn it down. Ghost Ninja just going to keep popping out the damage, but Fire Giant will inevitably fall to Ohio State.
That's a good job by Ohio State at this point. Now they can all look to group back. 2 Phoenixes down. This could very well be the end times for Wisconsin in this first game. You know, now is where you can push. You can go for that Phoenix. You can go for the Titan. You know, they have to stop you somewhere, and it's going to depend on where Ohio wants to take this last fight.
Well, with that Fire Giant around their belts again, the only objective left for them is the left side Phoenix. Imagine that's going to be their next target. Try and get that Titan as low as possible. But for Wisconsin, they're now down 20,000 gold. Almost an insurmountable lead for Ohio State.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. At this point, you're so behind that it's the enemy team making a mistake that you have to rely on.
Well, Hippopotamus going to pick up the red buff for himself. Try and get that extra damage. We kind of go back and take a look where earlier, junglers were having a real struggle getting that farm, but now Ampain level 20, Sidewinder, the only one not level 20 on his team, and Sir Hamilton continuing to struggle to find farm as Deport has been ahead or even with him in levels almost the entire game.
Yeah, Deport is, really behind at this point, but he's not doing that bad. Sir Hamilton's having a tough game, and he's not big enough to go into the back line. That's really what it boils down to. If he was tanky enough to go and dive onto Precap, it would be great. He's just not. He'll get blown up so fast, and so he's kind of not doing anything at this point because he just isn't tanky enough to do much.
Firebird started up here, but Hippopotamus is the one thrown in. He's chunked down immediately. Precap gonna get the credit for that kill. Volcanal slams down only onto one, but Precap's up in the sky, firing off the snipes. Gonna hit Deport, but it's not enough for it. Execute from Ampain will be enough. Sir Hamilton chunked down back to the fountain. He will reside, and the third Phoenix has fallen for Wisconsin. Now all that's left is the defense, but there are so many fire minions pouring in. Gets plucked back is Limon. He has to go all the way back to Fountain. The death side won't take him out. The fire minions are just doing too much damage, and Unhinged gonna find Eye Havoc into the back while the fire minions finish the game.
Yeah, fantastic job there by Ohio. It was a very, very close game up until just that one bad fight, and then Ohio made everything from that point on theirs.
Yeah, that 25-minute fight from Wisconsin. They ran forward, popped the Heavenly, got the Dharmic Pillar out, but it didn't catch anybody. The Eagles rally didn't catch anyone either, and immediately from there, Ohio turned it back onto them, started getting some big kills onto them, and finally was able to bring themselves to a significant lead.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. The biggest thing in that game was Sir Hamilton on that Bologna jungle did not have a good game, did the least damage on his team, least damage in the game. I would be really surprised to see them go to that again. I think you need to switch it up. It clearly wasn't working in that game.
Well, with that, we're going to take it to a quick break as we get set up for game number 2. Ohio State up 1-0 over Wisconsin, looking for this win so they can secure themselves at least the 3rd seed going into the gauntlet stage. But we'll be right back as we get set up.
shot, but I can't let it go. It's caught in a head, it plays over and over and over again. So what do we do it for? For the they're raking your fame in the greenback babes that a headline brings. 'Cause even kings gotta eat, even kings gotta dream. Gotta tap these waters before we head downstream. The pipe is hanging from the sycamore tree, but the dreaming keep on, keep on, keep on. For the
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Apologies for the long delay, but we are finally back with the picks and bans. Game number 2 for Ohio State and Wisconsin. My name is J Mac Tucker. Hopefully, this game, Robo Emu will not be joining me, and hopefully, it'll just be the good old Emu himself.
I hopefully have fixed my issues. If I have not, I apologize. I have no idea how any of this tech stuff works, but apparently I have fixed it, hopefully.
I mean, we show up, we say words into a mic, and we hope that everything goes through. I mean, that's kind of our job here. And, well, the job of the side for Ohio and Wisconsin, they're going through the picks and the bans. Ganesh and Kakulin over for the side of Ohio for bans. I don't see any from Wisconsin. I'm not sure if that's a pass ban or not.
I think it's a double pass ban. I was actually going to ask you because I was not seeing any, so I didn't want to say they hadn't. It looks like double pass ban, so getting right into the game, I guess.
I mean, double pass, new strat. I mean, that's the way that it goes. Picks are through. Scylla, Robin, Fafnir, Raw, Odin, Kurnanos. All 6 of the picks going through. Ban again, nothing from the side. I'm starting to think this might be a bug. I don't know. Well, speaking of bugs.
The Capri ban out. Yeah, I have no idea why there's no bans coming out, and they're picking very quickly, so it seems like both sides know what they want.
I mean, they know what they want to go with, and which is strange to see them pick these up so quickly. Izanami, however, going to be locked in for the side of Ohio State, where flip side, Wisconsin, they go for a Bastet.
Yeah, the Bastet's there, and the Bakasura as well. So there's a lot of interesting here, to say the least, and Erlang being locked in as well. So not a true support. Odin support or Erlang support will be there. It could be either one. Both do have support playing capabilities.
I got to give shout outs to these guys. This was the fastest picks and bans we've ever had here at AVGL. And that's even considering like the LAN ones. And, you know, when they're on LAN, they're like, I want this, I want this, I want that. I'm gone, done. This time, man, they just flew right through these for us.
Yeah, they went right through. They obviously had a vision of what they wanted and made it work, I guess. I'm sure they're happy. Nothing that state side wanted was banned out because there were no bans, I guess.
I don't know. That one seemed a little strange to me that no bans came through. To me, it feels like that may have just been a spectator bug onto that one. But whether it was spectator bug or the side of Wisconsin just not wanting to worry about banning anything out this time around, game number 2, Ohio State up 1-0.
Yeah, and I believe that you could see that it very well likely is a spectator bug, because things like Hachiman were not picked. I think that's a big, thing. If he had potentially been there, or I think Artio wasn't banned. I didn't see an Artio ban, so I would assume that it's just a spectator bug and that we couldn't see them.
Yeah, that's what leads me to believe there's no way that Artio wasn't banned and not picked up in this case. Same with Hachiman is. All day yesterday, he was picked up, and even in some of the matchups that we watched, some of the matchups off screen, he was banned or picked up by just about every team. So a little strange to see it. I do think it was spectator bug, but we're going to move beyond that one. We're getting into the game here. Ohio State said they're up 1-0, and I'm looking at the Bastet with Lono's mask.
And being played by Deport, so Bastet support. I've played support a lot of years, and I don't think I've ever played Bastet support. So I mean, maybe he's gonna show me something I don't know.
Hey man, the best CC that your support can provide in the game is just killing the enemy team. So I mean, Bastet has a lot of damage early on, can get some very nice scaling. It's like 100% on most of her abilities. And they're looking for an invade onto this red buff.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't blame them. They have that Bastet, so.
Cat Scratch is going to come through. It's going to do a bit, but Deport's going to have to use his beads. No more CC for the side of Ohio, as they've already used their stun from the Fafnir. And now Hippopotamus, he's trying to steal this one away. He got one of the smalls. Not going to be able to get the second one. That was taken by Ohio. He's still looking to go in this one. Hold on. He has Hand of the Gods. Is he actually just... He did! He just walked in and stole that one away from him, but he looks like he's going to fall here. There was a big mistake coming from Hippopotamus. First blood going to pre-cap.
I mean, thank you for pointing out that he had Hand of the Gods. I would have been very I did not even see that. It didn't occur to me that an ADC would ever pick that up. I didn't think this was season 1, and even then you wouldn't see it. So, you know what? He did steal away the red buff, I believe.
I mean, he stole it away. He lost one of the small minions out of it, so he didn't even get the full value of it. And he died in the process, so while the respawn timers are basically negligible at this point, he missed out on a lot of farm that the opposing team got. Precap level 2, Sidewinder level 2. And Monimus does get to that level 2, but it's going to be a hard fight for him.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough one, especially with that Bastet. I'm a little surprised they started Bastet over there and didn't start Bastet in mid lane. You know, I think that would have helped a little bit. And here Hippopotamus is in a bit of trouble as well, getting his purple stolen away from him. So there's one more buff down on that side for Wisconsin.
Well, Sir Hamilton on the jungle Odin looking to make a name for himself. Bird Bomb in. Deals about half of Precap's health. Bramble Blast is good from Hippopotamus, but the stun from Sidewinder is even better. And Precap comes out with the boxing trade. Hamilton trying to get the auto. The dash from Precap is good to keep him away for now. Nobody from Wisconsin has found him. He's going to be able to go back to base.
That's a fantastic job by him. That invisibility, and now Sir Hamilton's the one getting taken down. I believe Sir Hamilton did not go into, I believe he put his points into 2 points into the 1 and 1 into the 2, so he didn't have the 3 available that would have killed him. That's just an unfortunate thing of just a little bit of damage left on the table.
Now, if this was old Izanami, that was a death. Just needed one more auto, but because of Izanami's buffs, with how fast that dash comes out now, able to get out of that one no problem for himself.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the difference that, you know, a half a second or whatever that buff made. Yeah, well, it's what it feels like. Trust me. Just a small little number change completely changed the viability of that god. And you saw why it saved Precap's life.
On right-hand side, both ults expended from the solo laner, but a little bit better for Havoc. He's going to be able to get that up. And on the left side, Precap's going to take down the support Bastet. Hippopotamus trying to box in, but Ampain's made the rotation. Double kill for Precap, now level 5 on the Izanami, dashing forward. Going to jump into Sir Hamilton, who's just trying to get away from now 4 members as Sidewinder jumps in, gets the stun off, but Ampain is going to take away the triple from Precap. 6 kills now for Ohio State.
They were all over that. And a pause out there by Ghost Ninja. I'm not sure why the pause.
It looks like a friendly pause. Deport has DC.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that makes sense. It looks like sort of canceled out there by the other side. So we'll see what happens here if he comes back. Maybe they're looking for the pause or whatnot.
Well, Wisconsin just trying to look for some farm as Hippopotamus, level 3, has 3 deaths to his name already. And Havoc, he's going to add 1 to his slash line. Ampain getting the credit for that kill. Pause comes out once again from Ohio to try and help out, but Deport has made his way back into the game. He'll be back into the fray and no problem now. Yeah, that's just good sportsmanship there. Pausing the game, letting the enemy come back, you know. You want to play against the full 5, so obviously not a bad idea. Although Precap's in a bit of danger here. He just walked right by Hippopotamus. The Bramble Blast is good. Not going to do enough. Limon going to throw out the beam. Not going to connect, but one more in hand from Hippopotamus will. And finally, Wisconsin going to get their name on the board.
Yeah, that invisibility, you know, sometimes that happens. You accidentally walk by, and to us it's so obvious. But if you're playing, you're just seeing nothing. No one's there. So just kind of funny. Once he walked by him, Hippopotamus turned and threw that Bramble Blast onto him. So getting the kill, that's a big first step for Wisconsin here after really a rough start.
Limon going to go ahead and ult the wave to get that one cleared out as quick as possible because, well, that speed buff's up, and we all know how important the speed buff is for their junglers. Ghost Ninja now on the backside fighting into 2 members. Sir Hamilton going to bird bomb in, but Ghost Ninja's just going to be able to walk back out. Does have Eat Minion available, so he can heal himself back up, get a little bit more HP to sustain in the lane.
Yeah, and that's a nice thing that Bakasur has, is that just every time he can heal on that Eat Minion, is going to get that blue buff, so he can pretty much spam that on every single wave. He'll be fully healthy in no time.
Precap now level 7 on his Izanami, compared to Hippopotamus is just now level 5. Deport going to go and clear out the wave for himself. Not really be able to get the benefit of that Lanos mask, but Hippopotamus It's up Precap in the jungle. Limon gonna get stunned out by the hammer. Precap throwing out the autos into him. Limon chunked down to about a quarter HP. He's gonna have to back up, but luckily he is a raw. He does have that self-sustain.
Yeah, and he does have mana pot, so he will pretty much have infinite mana there with that chalice of mana. So he can definitely spam heals if he needs them, but looks like he's going to go back to base, maybe pick up another piece of an item.
Looked like a triple gang attempt, but Sir Hamilton gonna throw out the cage onto 2 members. Luckily for Ghost Ninja, he can jump back out. Ampain with the Mystic Rush over. But the piggy form from Hippopotamus gonna be immune out by the I'm a Monster. Sir Hamilton still alive, but overhead kick from Ampain's gonna drop him down. Now Havoc tried to fight into Unhinged. Sikkim not gonna connect onto Hippopotamus. Limon throws out the heals, but he's stunned out yet again. Sidewinder on point with these hammers. Ampain getting low, not gonna get hit by that snipe, and Limon has to Aegis out. Pin's good, and one more auto. Hippopotamus adds a second kill to his board.
Yeah, that's not bad. Hippopotamus there on that rotation has been losing farm because he's not in that lane by himself. Deport has died twice, so Precap really, sort of left alone. Gonna take another back just in case anyone comes over. So good job by him. Good fighting there by Ohio. This seems to be a much more aggressive game than what we saw in the first matchup.
Well, they have the Izanami, they have the Bakasura, both gods who are fairly decent in the early game, especially when Baka hits that level 5, but he's being turned on by iHavoc, who's going to use his own ult in response, going to try and heal back up, but it's not enough. The minions from Ghost Ninja's ult are going to be enough to get iHavoc before the heal procs.
Yeah, and they do also body block a little bit, so when Erlang is trying to attack back, he can't really get around it. He has to deal with those minions. They're always annoying to get those autos in between minions.
Well, Precap trying to fight out into Hippopotamus. Gonna throw a few autos, but Ampain again. Mid lane gonna take down Limon. Unfortunate for Limon. I mean, every time that he is walking out of tower, somebody's hitting him with a hammer. Someone's rooting him out. He's just having an unfortunate matchup so far.
Yeah, and he's only died once, which is just because of how, he's willingly been like, okay, fine, you guys are hitting me. I'll sit under tower. I'll back. But at this point, can't really do much. He is level 9 though, so a good job of him to get farm, even though they have been very, very pressureful of him.
Sidewinder has been slamming these hammers every single time and finding a home with it, usually on to Hippopotamus. Support took one into the mid, and now Hamilton has to jump over the wall. Precap makes the rotation over, throws some shots from the jungle, but none of them really gonna find a home into that one. He's gonna go back to his lane.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Go back and get some of that farm. You're an ADC, you're for the late game, but I mean, you're kind of in the late game now. 5-1-1, so a lot of damage out of Precap at this point, and a lot of items as well.
2-3 ults burned in mid, trying to get Ampain, but his Mystic Rush is more than enough. The cats are gone. They're going to take a little bit of damage under the tower, and maybe stack up that little passive for step. But Hippopotamus ults down, Limon's ult down, and now the re-aggression. Sidewinder very low himself. He's not going to be able to stay in too long, and Precap just throwing out the autos into Sir Hamilton.
Yeah, and now Hippopotamus is in potentially a bit of trouble there. Luckily, his team is around, but Precap coming in from behind.
He's looking to get something here. He's going to get the Spectral Projection onto Hippopotamus. The ult not going to do enough for him, and Precap now under half HP himself. He's going to go back to base.
Yeah, that's a good decision at this point. Hippopotamus needs to back and maybe get some farm. He does have the 2 kills for his team, but at this point, being level 8, he's not really relevant. He needs more.
Limon had to use his Aegis. Not going to get hit by the monster, but Hamilton will, and Sidewinder tossing out the hammer time. Going to be able to pick that one up, kill onto the support, and now Ohio leading the scoreboard 12-2.
Yeah, Ohio, really, this is a completely different game. The first game was very, very close, and it came down to just one bad fight. This game is absolutely all Ohio. They are winning all these fights, being so aggressive, and really, I don't think Wisconsin knows how to handle it, because every time, there's Limon under his tower, and Ampain just comes by him, hits him with 2 abilities, and walks away. Just a reminder that he's there, and now Hippopotamus and Left's in trouble.
He's waiting for the shot, but one more auto from Precap's gonna do it. Deport just has to sit and watch as his carry dies. Sir Hamilton jumps in, gets the cage onto Precap. The Phantoms pop. Precap doesn't care. He doesn't even need the Phantom. Snipe comes through, Aegis out by Precap. He's gonna live for the time. Just throwing the double auto, but there's too many bodies in the way. Limon's gonna pick up Precap, shut him down. Limon's getting turned on by Sir Hamilton. Unhinged is here. Limon's trying to run away. Has that extra movement speed thanks to the raw passive. But Unhinged has a dash of his own. Crush nowhere to run. Limon gonna drop.
And now Sir Hamilton showed up to fight in deport there. They do have a lot of damage. There is 4 red guys around the area, so potentially, but Ampain's over here to help out.
Ampain gonna jump in, Mr. Rush, and the root's gonna be good. Unhinged gonna use the Aegis to immune the piggies, but beautifully timed bird bomb from Sir Hamilton. Will catch him right on the backside. Sidewinder getting low, has to shell. Havoc's here, but so is Ghost Ninja. The ult just too strong. Ghost Ninja takes him down, and now Sidewinder just trying to run for his life. The bird bomb in place, not going to be good. Sir Hamilton now has nowhere to go, and Ghost Ninja just going to chase him down, jump down on top, waiting for one more auto, but for now, Hamilton, he's going to be able to get out.
Oh, and he is going to manage to jump over that wall and get to safety, so good play by Sir Hamilton. At this point, you know, I mean, this is a tough one. You know, I did like in that last fight, Bastet did body block using those cats. Whether it was intentional or just a little lucky is up to the player at home to decide. But I can see some validity in that aspect of, you know, if you could body block with cats every time, Bastet's support might not be the worst thing.
I can probably think of worse supports than a Bastet. I mean, she has a lot of damage. The slows might not be the best for it, but Bastet, I mean, a lot of early pressure, a lot of early damage. So far, hasn't proven too fruitful for Wisconsin, but now they're trying to start up this Portal Demon. Ohio's not going to allow this one to go. Ampain's going to steal it with one Prana Onslaught to take it down, and Hippopotamus has to dash away. No ult from Ampain to go down onto, waiting for the cooldown turtle form from Havoc. Going to be good, but overhead kick. One more punch to the face. Hippopotamus going to drop. Sir Hamilton falls to the crush from Unhinged, and Limon just has to turn tail and run.
And that Portal Demon going on the way of Ohio, you know, there you go. Something stolen away, and now Ohio gets the Gold Fury, so nothing is going the way of Wisconsin this game, and it is all in favor of Ohio.
Just burned down. One stun from Sidewinder was all it took, and like I said earlier, he has been on point with his hammers all game.
Yeah, and when he hits them, his team is far enough ahead and has enough damage to just completely obliterate whoever he hits. So as long as he keeps doing that, there is no answer.
Sir Hamilton jumps in, drops the cage, but the Phantom Pop just to get the other members out. Now Precap under quarter, has to dash away from Deport, who's not going to get any of his damage up onto Precap. He's going to live. He's going to jump in alongside Ampain. The ult's going to be good from Precap to pick up the Odin. And now poor Deport gonna fall. Ampain just too high a level at this point.
And a beautiful beautiful hammer by Sidewinder. Ghost Ninja picks up the kill on Hippopotamus.
How is Precap still alive? He took a snipe to the face, and Ampain looking to chunk down Limon himself under the tower. Aegis rooted out, overhead kick, and the pin in the back just missed out onto Precap. And Sidewinder gonna get Limon under the tower.
Yeah, and there was a surrender vote started by assumedly Wisconsin. That's not a bad idea. This is going all one way, and it's got to be very demoralizing. You know, down 20 kills at 14 minutes, and there's the surrender.
Yeah, they're not going to let that one continue through. Ohio just getting a little too far ahead. And in all reality, the game didn't matter too much. Wisconsin had no way of getting into Gauntlet. Ohio already securing themselves at least the 3rd seed. And now with this match, they will be 3rd seed going into our Gauntlet stage tomorrow.
Yeah, and that will be good. Obviously, Ohio is a good team. Like you said, you've rated them highly, and they've underperformed a little bit. But clearly, when they do well, they're a good team. When they play the right things, I've looked at them in my team fight breakdowns and stuff. They have the mechanics there. When they make the right plays, they're very, very good. It's just a matter of consistency out of them. You know, they started the first game really weak, but, you know, if they play like they played in that second game, they're going to be a top contender.
Ohio seems like if you put these very early game gods in their hands, they can really start to try and snowball for themselves. Bakasura, Raven, even Izanami, very early focus because of her clear. And it seems that this game just seemed that much more powerful for Ohio, where last game it was kind of the slow ball. They had a weaker solo lane early. They had a weaker duo lane. They kind of had to wait. So going in towards Gauntlet stage, I expect Ohio to start making some more of these aggressive picks.
I would agree with that. You know, they looked a lot better being aggressive. They want to be a team that fights, and they want to be a team that, goes for these objectives and takes the fights when they get them. And I liked that. I liked Ampain on Ravana most of all. I think he did a great job on that god. So I am interested to see how they do in this gauntlet.
Well, and with that, we're going to go ahead and take it to a break. We do have another set for you guys tonight. It's going to be UC Santa Cruz taking on Kansas, a battle for second seed out of the Mayan division. But we're going to take it to a break before we get into that match. So stick around, grab some popcorn, go to the bathroom, and we will be right back.
Wanna be family?